Welcome everybody to the Township of Nipissing Recreation Committee meeting, Monday, July 10th, 2023, and it's 6:30. Do we have any disclosure of pecuniary interest? I see none. Awesome. Motion to approve the minutes of the last committee meeting, which was June 5th, 2023. Moved by Tom and Terry. Okay, perfect. And all in favor, thank you. Awesome. Sure. What's that? There we go. And then we have, we have another one. We have another motion to approve a special meeting minutes that was held on June 27th. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Ready to go? Yeah. Moved by, awesome, Terry and James. Awesome. All in favor? Ready to go. Awesome. We're ready to go. So the first thing on the agenda for today is bottle drive update and goals.
So it was really good this month for Wolf Lake. There was $609.45, and at Bear Creek it was $503.70.
So next on the agenda is talking about goals. Is that what we want to do and what's on the agenda for that money and what we want to put things on the list?
It was asked to have goals put on, so.
People are donating, they want to know what we're gonna do with it. It's not really to go in reserve, so let's have some stuff that we could do, like here and there. I don't know how much we've raised since we've been doing this, so I don't know what's in the account or
Right now there's $3,249.05. And some of the stuff that come out of there was the some stuff for the soccer.
Yeah.
There was trivia night that come out of that. There was, I can't recall the other thing.
Easter.
Came
out of that.
I think a little bit might have come out of there for Easter. And then the team dances will be come out of that. So was there something in particular, like a goal? Are you thinking something big or?
oh, there's all kinds of ways. I asked around some of my locals around my area. One was to put a walkway in to the playground. Like we have, we don't have handicap accessible, so why not interlocking or a stone dust path or something from the road in if they're parking at the office. Pickleball court would be nice, very expensive, but maybe between us and the government and council, if it goes into the books, maybe it could become a reality.
The walkway from the park, like into the playground equipment. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's come up in the last meetings, has it not?
Yeah.
Yeah. And would we talk about that? I can't remember.
I don't know, maybe, could be asphalt, could be interlocking stone, it could be just stone dust, it could be, I don't know, something,
We also talked last meeting about,
benches and stuff like that.
yeah, we talked also about the information boards and that would be coming out of this money also.
The
So-
Heritage Park sign.
And the Heritage Park sign is also coming out of this meeting, out of our bottle drive money. So
At the town hall meeting, it was brought up that maybe there should be a mat walkway or something to the accessible washrooms, because wheelchairs can't get there.
So I went to both locations and we can't see a problem. Yeah.
Okay.
So we did there was some tire marks. So we are gonna, or if it's not, it might have been done. We're gonna fill those tire marks in just with a rake.
I've never been there, so I just brought up at the meeting.
Mhm.
So it's solid enough to run a chair?
We believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Like as good as like you would to be to go to the beach. So,
So that's part of it. And I know had the Heritage Park signs coming up on the agenda, so that's part of what it's gonna be. But I think you're right. People are looking to find out what, but a lot of money went into stuff like soccer and the new shirts, and without the bottle drive, I don't, would those programs be possible? Or as possible as they are, right?
well, I think you'd be looking at either asking for more of a budget, or you'd be asking residents and people to pay a little more for the activity.
Right, right.
I think when we did the soccer stuff, it was more or less to get us going with nets and balls and stuff. Now, I don't think they really need all that much yet, unless,
Mine depends on the year, right?
yeah. But
Yeah,
not saying you gotta stop funding it, I'm just saying you may not need any money for the next year or two if the nets and stuff are still good, and then when it comes time, then it goes back up.
We can look at more money going into it. Any other thoughts?
Is there any other stuff, but just because I have a little small vision doesn't mean the rest of you don't have your own ideas or.
No, I think, like you've already said, trivia night, team dance, those are all things that were brand new and we had to fund right from, the get-go, from the beginning, the handicap accessible, you're right, because we do have one, and I call it, we have one accessible swing or whatever, so that makes it logical, we've got it, we might as well use it,
Yeah.
So that would work for sure, but if they can get to the beach or get to there, that's great, and we looked at, both of our, Lynx and Wolf Lake, and both of them, the only way we can make it any bigger or get any more parking, we have to start buying land,
correct.
and
And we have the garbage cans and recycling at the two beaches. Chapman's Landing, probably, hopefully by the weekend. The park has 2 sets of recycling garbage cans. So
and so far they've worked out.
I haven't heard anything, so yeah.
Okay.
I think something we might want to look at also is doing something for our volunteers, like can part of this money be earmarked for doing something for our volunteers?
We talked about doing a barbecue or something at the museum in one of the meetings before.
Because we're struggling getting volunteers, right? And a thank you goes a long way.
There's a volunteer party every couple of years.
Every term of council,
Oh, that's every report.
so the last term of council.
Last term of council, the COVID kiboshed it.
Correct, yeah.
But yeah,
Okay, well, we can put it again to have another discussion about it and see what we can talk about it, and let's see where we're at and what money we have, and we can go from there. I think that's the best way to go. Next on the agenda is team dance update, ladies. It's coming fast.
It really is. Do you like to talk or would you like me to? Go for it. There's not much new. I think we covered everything last time. Tyler has agreed and I believe him and Will have spoke.
I have, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
so
have
that
spoke.
should be looked after.
So the DJ, with everything needed, from the speakers to lighting and everything, is gonna cost us, $200.
It's awesome.
So yeah, he's gonna bring everything and he was over at my son's birthday party on the weekend and we were talking and he wants the kids to have glow sticks. And I was like, well, I think we were actually already talking about that because he was gonna donate himself and buy a bunch and bring them in. And I'm like, well, leave it with me. I seen it there that you're donating.
Yeah, so in that box over
I was
there,
just gonna say, I believe they're actually here.
there's 116 big glow sticks and there's 300 small ones.
There's more than enough. He was just thinking for fun, right? For them. And I was like, we already touched on
And I-
that. We're gonna have them there. So
Believe there's some in the basement too, unless you pulled them out.
I didn't.
So we do have this backup
Perfect. I don't think we'll have that many kids.
50 or something, I think.
That could be crazy if we do, but let's hope we do. The food bank would turn out very fortunate.
Yeah, because we're talking, it's gonna be food bank donations, right?
Yes.
Which is fantastic. But how do we get it top of mind and how do we get some of these kids here to make it a success? Like that's somehow.
I spoke to some of them at the school and they were pretty excited. Like when I seen them, when I was volunteering doing something at the school near the last week of school, a couple of them came up to me and asked if I was gonna be there. And I said, yeah, and they're like, they were super excited, like looking forward to. I'm thinking it's already traveling around. I don't know how much more, maybe like just Facebook and that kind of stuff is pretty good at that age category. It's not like there's many other ways unless you're gonna text them all and tell them like to let them know. It's hard, right, without school now, but that flyer went out before school was over and there's been tons of stuff all over. So I think we're good. I don't know how far towards calendar you want to cover though. Like, that's the other thing. Are we trying to advertise this more this way? Because we could put up a flyer at like the Wassy Corners. You could put up flyers in a couple different locations, but I don't know how far we want to advertise.
Is there any South Shore foods?
Nope, but we can get some and post them up there for sure.
You have spot dances, prizes.
Oh, you're pushing it. I'm not sure. We haven't gone that far, but we want to see how this one turns out and then kind of go from there. We'll see, like, maybe for the next one, we can do a theme or do things like that where they have more little things going on, little games. But for this one, we just want to see if we're gonna have 10 kids or if we're gonna have 30 or 40 or 100, right? We're kind of up in the air because there's no registration for it either. So,
Yeah.
But I know they are pretty excited.
Awesome.
So we're gonna do the glow sticks to know that they've given the food bank donation. There will be myself, my boyfriend, the DJ and the DJ's girlfriend, Terry Lynn, Kirsten, and I think we're honestly pretty good with that. Like,
So you don't need any other help.
if somebody's driving by and wants to stop in and say hello, feel free, but I mean, I don't think we need to anymore. We're gonna have somebody outside for supervision for sure, because gotta understand that not, even if they're in here, they're still being supervised while they're outside, so hopefully we'll have a good turnout, not anything unfortunate happen. I don't think we will. I think they're all pretty excited for it, so, but
Did they put it up on the sign room?
No, unfortunately, right now we have to keep the sign for the fire ban. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
um,
No.
Yeah.
yeah,
From
unfortunately,
Southern Ontario all the way through.
yeah.
You see them all.
And I believe when we first spoke, we were gonna do a soft entry anyway to see how the first one went. So we did the advertising at the school and social media and then see where it went from there and then put it out bigger after you got the first one under your belt to see how,
yeah.
I believe that was
But,
the way I took
I
it.
mean, putting a flyer at Foots and
Yeah.
Sunset Cove, I
Yeah.
think maybe that'd be good. for
Yeah, you
now
could do that
instead
for
of-
sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
we won't reach
Yeah.
too far this way, but
You might get cottagers, right?
yeah, I just
exactly.
remembered, I believe they were talking about a soft entry for the first one to see, get your feet wet, figure it all out and then expand it
Yeah.
after that.
For
I just
sure.
think cottagers and stuff, I don't know.
It might be very
I had
interesting.
thought
to
of that,
Get it
even
out to the
beach.
camps.
Like go down and talk to Garmin
Looking
or
for something
whatever
to
and
do.
let them know.
Depends on how soft you want the first one to go.
We can
Cause
handle it.
there's been quite a few people talking about it, so you might have a
We
few.
could very
quite a
well
few.
have a soccer on our hands, let's be honest.
Well, hopefully one of you guys answer your phones then. No,
What you could do as well is we do have soccer this week, cause it got canceled last week. We could have some flyers printed out and
yeah,
That's great.
hand them out, get the coaches to hand them out or something at the end of the evening.
for sure, because there's only, or actually, does that even work because the age? group,
Oh, that's right. Yep, you're right.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
I was gonna say, because this is more.
I guess
for
we
the
could
older-
hand them out to the older
The
group,
older
For
group.
one game.
the one group,
Yes, the older, the one, two
the orange
teams.
and white.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we could
that's
do that.
not many kids, that's however many we could figure that
Yeah,
out.
we could have 20 flyers or something, printed and just have them on the table.
And then if you could, even an extra 5, and then I can print some
Oh,
and
sure.
take some and.
For
I
sure.
mean, the other thing, even the younger kids, they have older brothers and sisters that aren't playing soccer because it's not cool enough for them. And then-
Absolutely.
and then
Kristen, do we have a flyer here?
you know,
Actually, I probably have one in my office. I can print one up for you.
Perfect.
I can print them up tonight. I probably have it hanging in my office.
We take it to the freezy table on the left.
That's a
Yeah.
great idea, take it to the, yeah. So we'll get it up and get it over to the stairs and get it up and
I'll have you a couple copies before we leave tonight.
Thank you.
point it out to the camps when they come in. That'd be awesome.
I think that's pretty much it. I've reached out to a couple of the girls and they're sending me some suggestions for music so I can pass those along to the DJ, but besides that, I think we're pretty much good. We're gonna come in for 6 to set up and get organized and stuff like that, and then it starts at 7 until 10.
What are you doing for like a canteen? I don't know
So
what
I
you
was
call it.
gonna
but-
ask, yeah.
So one of us can run the canteen unless somebody would like to do that. If there's somebody that does it specifically, I'm not sure, or is it just each event?
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but I would suggest Kristen,
Absolutely.
because then she
I
could,
knew that was coming.
well, she
Absolutely.
could
It's
bring the
okay.
float and
She can
everything.
do everything.
She can
She's
take
got
everything.
absolutely.
And with it
Okay.
being a Friday night, she knows what to do with everything at the end of the evening
Yeah.
and
That's awesome. Yeah, because I was gonna say there's probably procedures that you have to follow with the money if not, right? Being,
And do you want to stick with kind of the same theme that we had for trivia night? Because there was pop and chips.
Yeah, we did pop chips and we did up candy cones.
Yeah, I think there's a few candy cones left, but not many. They went pretty good.
the kids would jump all over that for sure.
We could probably get some more chips, like those bags of chips, the boxes.
The girls asked, were like, is there gonna be drinks? I said, there'll be drinks for sure. We'll make sure there's like water,
Do you
pop.
want me to do all of the canteen related things? Get the stuff?
If
the
you
stuff?
would do that, that would be awesome. If you have time, if not, feel free to say you don't have time.
No,
We can.
we can
I'm
do
good.
that.
I'm
Okay,
good.
perfect. Fit it in there
We
somewhere.
have a system.
Spending on that stuff.
Well, we'll actually just keep flipping it in. So we're just gonna actually take what we have and we'll do a quick inventory and we'll just expand it.
Yeah.
And we just keep flipping it into each.
From what we made, just buy more
Okay.
product.
Awesome.
Because the more events you do, the more we're gonna need. So we just keep rotating it. So
And there should be some.
so there'll be a little bit of water, but what we did was the township bought a skid of water. So we disperse it as we need it to whatever department. There'll be some freezies left, which I believe have to be used by the end of this year.
We
Yeah.
can sell those too. If
So
there's a, yeah, freezer.
There's freezers over there.
Perfect.
And even if we're really trying to get rid of them, we can put them on special.
I believe
reactor
there's a
with
box or two downstairs that we should throw
Yeah,
in the
we'll throw it.
freezer, because I took the two out of here.
Is this
Soccer last week.
once you're in, you can go outside or?
What does everybody else think? That's a very valid question.
You have somebody outside monitoring outside, right?
Yeah,
Takes one kid. to-
So my question, just because Calista never really did this stuff, but why would a teenager, younger one have to go back outside?
exactly.
Yeah. Once you're in, you're in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
Because you're
thinking,
going outside, you're getting into no good for whatever reason to come back in,
Yeah.
so.
I'm just thinking
absolutely.
like what Andrew would have done as a kid.
Right?
It depends, like, obviously my child's not to that age, but if I brought my nephew, the first thing I'm telling him is once you go through those doors,
You
you
don't
don't
come.
come back out until I pick you up.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Exactly.
Exactly. Once your parents are
Yeah.
here and at 10 o'clock, unless you know your parents are coming before, you're not going out.
You know, 9 times out of 10, every one of those kids are gonna have a cell phone. And mom and dad are gonna be texting, okay, I'm here. And then they have to do is, say to whomever's at the door, hey, my parents are here, they look out, we're good. And they can leave.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sounds
You're
good,
in.
yep.
Yeah, 'cause parents should almost even be coming up to the door.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's when the liability
Yeah.
kind of falls in. I mean, I guess it's bring your own, you're going to your own event on your own terms, but still it's a lot of
So
responsibility.
kind of have a door person.
But we're gonna have to have somebody doing the food buying, giving them the bracelet, and then we're gonna have somebody standing outside, so there will be 2 people right there. We can just, sure they don't. leave.
Yeah.
You can always just reiterate, I know, like when they used to have the shack dance in North Bay, they used to tell everybody, like, before anything started, they laid out the ground rules before the dance started, and then you tell everybody that nobody's to leave until, I mean, the washrooms are here, everything's here that needs to keep them contained, so there's nothing really to go outside for, so.
You abuse the privilege, you lose the privilege, so let's work within it and stay inside and enjoy it.
And
we'll
what
do
we
it
can
again.
do that day is, I can crank the AC down to get it started nice and cool, and then it'll be able to maintain it,
Yes,
so.
perfect. And then 10 o'clock, we'll turn the lights on and watch the parents pick them up. Hopefully. Not gonna drive all the way back. Drop 'em off all the way.
All right.
Big stones, cars, turtleneck.
Okay, we're gonna defer soccer update for the next meeting, just because the year end will be tomorrow, right? No,
Thursday.
Thursday. I'm losing a day. or a few days.
Pushing it.
Next on the agenda is advertising. So Kristen, you're looking for some help on advertising, trunk sale, chili cook-off,
So
Halloween.
can you flip back? Actually, it's right there in your file. So what we're looking to do is, Kristen did a sheet up for the first 6 months. What we're looking to do is start the ball rolling for the next 6 months. Yeah, so what we're looking to do do the next one.
Yep.
So trunk sale. Park again.
Yep.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but are we doing $10 or a food donation?
So
Was
usually,
both?
yeah, usually I put both. I only got one last year, one food donation, but
So it's $10 plus a food donation or, yeah, okay. Pre-registration?
yes, please. Because then it determines where I'm gonna put it, right? If we have what we had last year, we'll stay in the same area. If we get a lot more, then I'll move it out.
And do you want to collect funds before, or can we just collect it that day again? Just register so you get a number. That's more important, just the number? Because last year we had a lot of people just text, email, call in. I like to save a spot or two and.
Yeah,
What about skin in the game?
yeah, that's my,
That's the only issue. If they don't pay any money, it's like piss off.
I'm
I'm
not
not showing
coming.
up.
Is that too much work on your part?
No,
That's good. And hopefully we get more from it, right? And people show.
They put money in and they don't show, well, that's too bad. And like, you're charging $10, you're charging next to nothing.
so I'll have the flyers for all these done by the next meeting, and then you guys can go through them and see what you want to add, change, look over, make sure there's an age or date, you know, some things that I just overseen in the past. And what else?
This
Oh,
is probably a good time to decide if we're going to do the coordination of simultaneous yard sales in Commanda and
If you
Nipissing.
guys want, our date is already set.
Well, September 23rd was the
Yeah,
date. we
September
were thinking, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna advertise jointly?
Is Commander doing a yard sale?
Well, we've been having that plan.
Okay.
Since we talked last.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, we can,
That's
Put a joint flyer
not an
together.
issue.
That'd be awesome.
On my part, anyways.
So we'll be in touch on copy and stuff.
perfect.
And I'll make sure that when people show up, that remind them to go to Commanda.
Yeah.
If they come to us,
Yeah.
make sure you go to Commanda.
Chili cook-off. We need a little more information for this one. We're not 100% sure what the scope is on this one.
So this was originally, this was gonna take place of our spaghetti dinner. Correct? Is that what we decided? Because we decided not to do the spaghetti dinner again and the chili cook-off was suggested in place of. It's just, we've never done it before. I've never done it, so it's gonna be there's a first for everything, right? So we talked about inviting other fire departments or first responders to put in a chili. It would be a blind taste test. Nobody would know which one you're eating. Invite the public, come check out the chili, vote for your favorite chili, away we go.
Pre-cooked before it comes?
Yeah, so they're gonna walk in, so they walk in and try the chilies, and away they go, and then choose the one they like the most.
Should be like Rib Fest, where you have your different stations and you go try them and. well, no,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
I'm
thinking. What do you think? Tom?
I'm thinking health unit,
Yeah.
cooking things at your own home.
Yeah,
So I have,
So if you four in the chili cook-off, are like, do you have a table with a crock pot and you have dishes, or like, what's your thought? Yeah, like those styrofoam containers or something with numbers on them for whatever pot.
so we would have to, everybody would have to have their own, because Will's exactly right. It's gonna have to be kept
Right.
at proper temperature. We're gonna have to follow health guidelines. So it would be, everybody would have to have their crock pot. They would have to prove it's at room temperature. They would. That's the problem. Or any of the other fire halls or anything of food premise.
I'm not sure.
So it's some of the questions we need to ask. If not, they're gonna have to come.
And then I know there was interest at Public Works.
I was gonna
So,
say,
yeah.
yeah, don't limit
Too.
Or no, and I don't mean to limit it. Like if
don't
we can
limit it
do,
to there.
yeah, if we can do Public Works, whoever wants to do it can do it, right?
We only got so much room.
But we only have so much, you're exactly right. So it's gonna have to
And
be in a
the-
certified kitchen.
Just, yeah, because the other thing that we ran into when we were doing pies, I believe, in order for somebody to do it at home, they had to have a water sample within 2 weeks of that period and.
Unless you
yeah.
have municipal water,
Yeah.
and none of that applies. So good.
I'm not aware of
Say
many
the
people.
neighbor municipalities, they get running their stuff out of their kitchen and bring it.
I still think there's guidelines too for that.
Well, I'm sure there's guidelines,
Yeah.
but that,
I know the water was the big one for Township of Nipissing.
I know a couple people that bake their pies in Calendar and brought them.
Okay, so,
Sorry, go ahead.
so what if what day is this on?
November 18th.
November 18th. Ooh, last day of what, deer season?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
So what if, so that's a Saturday. So if you did a pre-registration, we can, obviously, I don't know the rules and regulations behind this, but what if we did a pre-registration and if you wanted a spot, there's what, 1, 2, how many in there can we do
Probably
it?
3,
3 at a time.
4, yeah.
3 or 4 at a time. So you have 3 or 4 time slots, say Friday
Right.
night, that they can make you can
Yeah.
make yours. These are your time
Time slots.
slots. And then Saturday, don't start the event until say whatever noon. And then, okay, from whatever, 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever you could do, that's our time slots. And then say from whatever, 8 to 10, I don't know how long it takes for one person to do chili, but simple enough, I would
So
assume.
here's the other thing, we could, and just, I'm gonna put it out there, if they could prove they're doing it in a certified kitchen, they can bring it, but they'd have to prove it, and it would have to be approved through the health department. Push comes to shove, it was in
I
a
know
certified
Calendar
kitchen.
could do it, because their kid, they've got a certified kitchen.
But then where you run to the thing too, like you said at the beginning, so if people are preparing their stuff Friday night, they're not, it has to be kept at temperature.
No, it can be brought down to temperature and into your fridge. It just has to come back into this, it would have to come back into this kitchen to be heated up to temperature and held.
Don't let it leave.
Yeah. I thought
Stay
Can you not put them in the?
Well, yeah, but if they're bringing it from their own certified kitchen, so let's say you're talking Calendar brings it in, right? They would have to heat it up here and keep it up to temp, bring it up to temp here.
Does Boston have a facility anyway?
Imagine theirs would be,
So there'd be,
Yeah.
Growing Sub has one.
the only place it would be, a stool if they wanted to come in, but they would probably use.
Community center, they
they would-
have,
they would use, was it the Lions Hall or something?
Yeah, the community center there.
So they're registered. I don't know about Argyle. I don't know what facilities they have.
I imagine their community center is probably certified.
What about Trout Creek?
I would imagine theirs would be.
Yeah, so
So
I don't, not too sure it would be that big. You know, maybe it would, maybe it won't. I don't know. It's up for somebody to get hold of the health board and find out what their vision is.
Yeah.
On the other side of it, is this like open to the public? Are they paying to come in and do like taste all these chilies? Are they?
Yeah, so like
Yep.
North Bay, how they run theirs is you pay like just a fee at the beginning, and then you get a ticket to go try each one. So you get a small cup, not like a big bowl, it's just a small sample thing. And then you just put it on your ticket, you write who you like, and you throw them in.
I've never been to one, so.
Either
that's-
have
yeah,
I.
for
I've
sure,
never
that's
been to
cool.
one, so, I mean, do we say your entry into the event is $10 and then you, and it's it's going to charity, right? Because at the end of the day, it's coming, and then they get to try all,
Yeah, I was
and
just
then they
gonna
can
say.
vote.
You go back to the $10 in the donation food bank again.
Yep.
And then I think people putting in the entries, to put something in so that there's something for them to win. Not so much as money as about you should buy a trophy or a plaque or something.
Continue it over for.
And I
Yeah.
think.
If we're gonna do more of this, if we're gonna, you're right, if we're gonna do it, James, exactly on a regular basis, do we do it a Nipissing chili cook-off or whatever it is?
Or maybe one of the other communities might want to absorb it next year and have it at theirs.
I just say a cook-off, because then each year you could change, you don't have to just do chili, you could do soup one year, you could do
Yeah.
different. Branch out.
Winners hosted the following season.
Yeah, you could do something like that, but it's something we kind of want to do. It's, but I was thinking it was something we were trying to do in this area, just to keep people coming in, right? Keep the community together, but keep bringing them together, because that's the feedback we're getting. The number of people that have come up and said, the work that the rec committee is doing is phenomenal. Like, they can't say thank you to everyone sitting at this table to say, we're bringing the community back together and doing more things. And
What
that's
about
what
if-
they're grateful for.
What about if you open it up to all the camps and businesses and groups?
Say,
How many
bring in your,
tables can you have for chili? Like a table, like you wouldn't need one this big, you just one of the plastic folding ones and line them
we
all
could
up.
literally, you could probably put you'd probably put two at every table. It probably, I mean, like, we'd probably just give them a line and be two at every one of these tables, right? So if we put these tables all the way down on either side, they can wander and away they go. Huh? It's a road trip?
Have a little maze to follow around.
And it'd be fun, right? And the more we can get involved and the more, and hopefully we can get everybody coming in. So if it's Public Works, they're in their uniform, they're wearing their whatever, there's something. If you've got something from Calendar Fire Department, hopefully they come in their uniform. Nipissing comes in theirs, and just to show.
I believe East Ferris has a certified kitchen too.
So do we put it out there and say,
So it's only for like the township committee or like the fire hall or like fire department or public works and that kind of stuff, like not just a random person can try to enter?
Municipality rivalry type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just so
for
I.
this year anyway, because, and then in the future,
Yeah,
maybe we look,
this is-
we look at something different, right?
Right, why are the chilies not?
For this.
Yeah.
Thing is, well, you can do
Well,
it
you
for
could do,
Nipissing.
you could do the
Rec committee.
Yeah,
Office.
township
as
office.
soon as you go to individuals,
Okay.
then you're gonna have to have proof.
Then we're gonna have to.
Okay,
really-
no, I was just
Yeah.
wondering when it's being advertised, how are you gonna word that to?
That would actually work out pretty good, because if it's Calendar Public Works, they could just go to the Calendar Community Center, make their stuff there.
And then bring it.
If it's Flosson's
You might
Arena,
even get somebody from North Bay, their Parks and Rec Department, their Public Works Department, somebody, you never know what those guys,
Down that
other
way.
people may say, hey, this sounds like fun.
I think maybe the spot to start is to whoever wants to head this event, it's gonna have to go around to actually see the interest with everybody. And start from there.
but I think there's already been a head pointed to this event.
Thank you.
I'm on it.
I believe you second that, Chair.
You second that, Chair, my friend. It was you and I.
I didn't say how that one.
I thought your name was on it. Oh, it was Kathy.
Oh,
Oh,
it's Kathy.
right. That's right.
There we go. So we're gonna put our heads together.
Awesome.
So another
So-
quick question, are we providing the cups for
Yes.
the, okay,
Yes. we'll have to
all the
provide
utensils, all that stuff will be here at each station, not provided from like Nipissing or Callender or,
No, we'll have to provide all that. 'cause
We
it's our
actually, we
event.
actually have it all in the kitchen.
perfect. Just making sure they don't need to bring their own supplies, just their
That's a good
chili.
idea.
Their chili and whatever the utensils they need for their chili.
Addition.
To serve, yeah.
So what are we
Yeah.
saying? It's, the participation, how do I word that? It'd be like
Municipal chili cook-off?
municipal, yeah, there we go.
Municipal makes it sound like just Nipissing though, right? Or area municipalities or something.
Well, municipal, just because it'll be all the other municipalities, like municipal that are
You
competing.
can always send an email or a flyer to each other councils and they can put it to their staff or their fire departments. They
You
can
have
do it
fire
that way.
meetings still
Yep. Yeah, we can spread the word through the fire too.
in the CAO's meeting. So
Yeah,
that
actually, I think we have one coming out next month.
CAOs are next month.
CAOs and bylaw all have one
Yep.
next month.
So,
From the mayor's meeting, you're also.
yeah, we don't have one. We don't talk to each other.
So here's my question, and it's something we might have to check into is, would we have to have each municipality sign off to say that they're certifying it was done in a kitchen so that we take? So we,
I'll check with their local health unit representative.
okay,
But I believe we all have the same one or the same two, so.
okay.
Could be just added as a prerequisite, you must come from a certified kitchen.
Yeah, that's simple. Perfect.
How much, how much is it?
I'd like the idea of $10 and a donation to the food bank.
But that's for getting
That's getting in
the
the
person to
door.
buy, how much to enter the competition yourself. With a bowl of chili, like if I make it, how am I gonna get in?
Can I be honest? I wouldn't charge them to walk in the door. I wouldn't charge them to bring their chili. They're paying it
They're
for what
buying
it's
the
gonna cost.
ingredients
They're
and
buying all the
Yeah.
ingredients, they're doing everything. So in my world, it's no charge for them.
But
to-
just register and show
they need
that
to
you've
register.
done it in a certified kitchen.
What's the prize? What's the
That's, I
incentive?
was just gonna say, figure out what we wanna do with winner.
Should.
Talk to me, tell me
sweeten it
what
up
you're
a
thinking.
little. I said, should you sweeten it up a little with like maybe even like $50 or $100 to reimburse some of their price?
My thought would be something like bragging rights.
No,
Yeah.
that's big, right?
Everybody's gonna-
Advertise it on the sign or something?
Well, sign, we can imagine the media would do something.
Yeah, if it's good enough, like depending on how the first one ran, and we will start a plaque,
Yeah,
and that can just get put up.
I'm sure you get somebody to make a plaque or get a plaque.
Oh, yeah.
Spoon on it or something.
Yeah.
and then you're right, it doesn't have to be chili, it could be soup. it could
Yeah.
be- It could be almost anything. moving forward.
Municipality cook-off or something.
And are you
we could
doing all
call it.
donations to the food banks?
Yeah,
How about a name like Chili Town Cook-Off? Just that the word municipality doesn't make the mouth water.
Good idea.
We'll see if we can
Let's
get
keep
something
playing with
together
it.
for
let's keep
next
playing with it.
meeting.
Okay. You got ideas, bring it back and we'll keep pushing it. So I will start, if you're gonna gauge interest at meetings, then we don't necessarily have to go out and try and
Yeah, I'll work with you guys. I'll work with,
drum up
I'll work
business.
with you guys and we'll get something laid out on.
Yeah,
Sure.
and then once we figure out how many people would be interested, then we can talk way out everything else.
So Halloween and Christmas, pretty well the standard flow. Halloween we'll do at both stations again. I think the Christmas was still the roadshow. I believe still was the verdict for 90%,
Yeah.
but we'll
Yeah,
double check it.
yeah, I'll check again, just
It
'cause I know.
seemed to be really well received.
Yeah, the only other change up we were thinking, if for some reason we could see like the weather is gonna be maybe decent enough, then one year doing it in the actual park. And having a bonfire in the park, having Santa sitting on a sleigh or
Probably
something.
still be under a fire ban.
Big, I think by December we'll be good. Do a big Christmas tree, that was another talk, but again, like Andrew said, it's all weather depending and how much snow do we have, like.
That could be just another rec event, putting up a Christmas
Should we do a
tree
parade?
in the park.
Tree lighting?
Could,
Lighting-
for sure,
lighting
100%,
Christmas tree.
100%.
There's a fight over blossoms right now.
I was gonna say they do one in Boston and Restoral. Restoral's is obviously much, much smaller, but they all start at the market and they tour up and around and they turn around at the store, I think. And then go up past the Legion and turn around and go back and park at the market. It's like you build your own float and then they have a competition. So it's like who has the best costume?
And they
Who
give
has
out
the
hot
best-
dogs, too.
Anyway,
Give out hot dogs as they're going along with the mat. usually.
Yeah, exactly. There's different ones. They try and bribe you in different ways, but yeah, it's fun. They do floats. All the kids make their own, like different kids make them and put them in, and then they do the Christmas tree lighting after.
so that might be something to really look at for next year and maybe we're tight this year.
Mhm.
And I think the kids love Santa coming to their house. Like
Yeah.
the excitement is wild from the kids.
Yeah, I thought the Grinch was a big hit last year.
Well, the Grinch was a big hit too, but.
Oh, yes,
He
he
was-
definitely
yeah.
was.
But I think they just love the fact that the fire truck and Santa came to their house.
And it's there for them. They get that attention on them themselves or their buddies or whoever's there. It's not like there's 100 people sitting in a thing and everybody comes up and sit down and Santa's
And
lap and
actually,
walks
that
away.
being said, we are starting to get more groups. So neighbors are starting to talk now. They're all starting to meet at one house. We're starting to get more of that, which turns into a before get together and it turns in, I'm gonna use my family as an example. They have a big lunch after. They do a big, and the kids all play and so I think last year was 7 families at the one stop.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
Anybody in Nipissing that does Christmas trees, it sells Christmas trees.
I,
I know the
South Shore.
stores does,
South Shore.
but they buy them, but like, is there a tree farm in Nipissing that we know?
No, you just get it off somebody's yard.
Could we not
Well,
decorate one of the
late
trees in the park
Do you want
already? By the outdoor
The
rec?
one in my yard,
No, I'll be,
about 7 feet.
Do you not have a way up to put lights up on the one one of the ones at the park somewhere by the outdoor rec?
we don't.
We
don't
could
have a
always-
bucket truck.
we could always build one, like a 2x4 like structure kind of one or something. I don't know. I'm sure Andrew could build something out.
We're talking to-
Trying to think of the tree in the park. I'll have to look Thursday night.
So I mean, I
It's
was saying, is there
pretty
something there we could just wrap lights around somehow safely?
I know Eagle Tree used to do one for calendar.
Mm-hmm.
We
Dudley's.
supplied the lights, they supplied the bucket truck.
Dudley's used
That-
to.
that-
Yeah,
Dudley's-
that
Dudley's
would
does it
probably
too.
help this area
We
too.
could,
they
yeah, we
live in
definitely
the
could
area,
look
right?
at something.
But
for sure.
Christmas lights are expensive, so that's something, like, you're gonna need to know how many hundreds of feet.
I will
Talking
donate
about-
some lights.
So am I.
There you
I-
go,
We have boxes and we never put the Christmas lights up.
Grinch.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
We should reach out to the community and say who has donations, and I bet you we come up with a ton
Community
of them.
Christmas tree,
Yeah.
yeah.
I bet you we would come up with a ton of them.
But I don't take those.
Okay, let's,
Okay.
we'll put that on.
Awesome. Movie in the park?
Everything's pretty well set up. The movie's booked, the backup date's booked. Tom from Home Hardware is booked for the popcorn. All we need is nice weather and
Shiny.
if, pardon me?
It's not The Shining, right? The movie? No, it's.
Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
sorry.
Mario Brothers.
Mario Brothers.
Hopefully the fire ban's lifted. My suggestion, if you guys would like, we can shoot the fireworks off after the movie in the park.
That would be,
Love it.
That'd be great.
might get more people out to the movie.
So we are going to, well, I'm gonna ask Kristen to edit the flyer a little bit to say possible fireworks, depending on the fire ban, but
Only thing I'm gonna say is, will that cause people to come flooding in during the movie and like with all the headlights? Where's the movie set up? Is that gonna just,
Oh, yeah.
no?
Because it's against the side of the rink shack.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like somebody just comes in passing.
so what
building.
we'd have to do, you're probably right, we'd probably have somebody on the road or two to make sure that they didn't go up, turn around and come back.
I was gonna say, just
Yeah.
because there's gonna be people that might not want, like, if there's older kids that don't wanna go watch that, they just wanna go watch the fireworks. We just have to prevent them from disturbing the movie
Just
for
park.
the last
the
10
public
minutes.
Parking.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
So
thing we might want to take a look at is, and last year there was a lot of people looking for drinks or hot chocolate. They were looking
I
for stuff.
believe the idea was to open the canteen with, again, with everything. So like just take it from the event, move it to the next event.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, so we'll need a volunteer to run the canteen, Kristen.
I don't know, I'd like to say we'd help, but we have a bad track record with
Yeah.
movies in the park,
I
so,
don't see last time.
yeah, I mean,
We missed that.
And you miss spaghetti dinners too.
yeah, we have a bad track record, so, yeah, leave us out. Okay, perfect, thank you.
Awesome.
August 26th.
No,
No, August
19th.
19th. Back up to 26th.
Yeah.
26th.
Predicting bad weather already.
What's the date for Christmas, right?
Be around
December
this-
9th.
Summer night?
And we'll be able to help.
Park update, so you wanna go ahead with that?
Okay, so we had a nice donation of 4 picnic tables. Actually, 5 picnic tables, 4 adults and 1 child's picnic table, and 2 sets of bleachers. We're looking for some suggestions on where to place them. So picnic tables, we're thinking probably around the park area, but the bleachers, there was a couple ideas thrown out. Maybe, do we want one by the skating rink? So in the winter, parents can watch kids skate outside. Do you want both facing the inside field?
How terribly hard are they to move?
Well, you don't want to move them a lot.
Well,
Wooden or metal?
they're metal with wooden tops.
Yeah.
It's going to be ask a bunch of people to nicely to practice their lift training.
Actually, we had a.
Let me
we
have
had-
a gander at them, because when I was in the ones in Halton, what we did is we had like snowmobile dollies. And we just left them up a little bit, put the dollies under each wheel, and then you
Oh, yeah.
truck them
I
around.
don't believe moving is gonna be a big issue.
We did have a volunteer for somebody to help us move them. with
Oh, okay.
equipment.
Perfect.
Okay,
I
so
like one at
he
the rink.
basically said,
The
when you
rink's
decide where to go,
Like,
I
what if
can
you
move
put
it and
down
not
in
break it.
front of the shack, so it's more like on the shorter side.
Yeah, so one suggestion was if this was the rink and the shack's here, the one idea was right here looking down the rink.
Is that where they push the snow though? Like what
Well,
if they put
it
it?
was the snow, but my more concern was puck
Yeah,
getting through that fencing.
you might want it at the side.
Yeah.
Can you put it left of the door?
Sit at your own caution.
We could.
And the other one you can put right beside my soccer team because they play so well. that, you know,
That's what it is. I
Well,
was just here against the building there to watch the soccer. What is
unfortunately, we
that?
can't put it there. That's where the septic is.
Yeah,
farther
that's
this
right,
way.
because I
But-
said the same thing.
Somebody suggested against the trees at the back side of Front Street,
Yeah, because there's a lot of,
because
that's where all the
shade.
parents sit in the shade. Yeah,
And then the other idea was against the other trees looking, so have one on each side looking.
And where are all the picnic tables going?
We thought maybe just around the park, playground equipment.
Do we need any more at the beaches? I know there's only one at Wolf Lake, maybe, I don't know where else
I've
you
never
really put
heard
it,
of
but,
any
okay.
requests.
I wasn't
There's only
sure.
4, so I think these ones will be used for the park probably the most, but I think we should look at more picnic tables for the beaches. I'm with you on that, because every time we go there, it's a pain in the butt to get.
And then there's only the one and it's right in the blistering sun of
really?
Wolf Lake, like there's,
So
so there
anytime-
is lots of people
Okay,
there,
anytime
it
I've
is
ever been
being
there,
used.
nobody's ever used picnic table's always open.
Well, it's also maybe if it was in the shade a little, that might
People
help a
move
little, or
People move them.
really,
Oh, they
I
move them
thought
all
it was
the time.
chained there.
No, people
That's
move
how
them all
the
the time.
person I am, I think.
Yeah, just please don't put them in the water.
But I'm wondering too, for the bleachers, if we by chance move them sooner than later, to put them against the tree line, you know where the house is at the end of the field? If we put them close to the tree line there, both sets, for the movie night. So if they have them there, so everybody can sit the movie and watch the movie from there, and then we can decide after that where to put them, because there's no events going on from soccer to them.
I mean, you look at them and maybe I can build a set of wheels for them. To be-
Honestly, James, I think we should just try to lift them, because
They're not, they
don't
don't look
think they're
super,
that bad.
super,
Like how
yeah.
many, when I say bleachers, how many levels is it?
I wanna say maybe 8.
Yeah, it's that, yeah.
Like it's like head height, right,
Yeah, not
about
the
the top one.
Yeah, they're actually a nice set.
They're in
Like,
really
they're
good shape.
perfect. They're not too high.
Yeah.
Is there any liability with anybody sitting on the top of those that we have to hold?
We're already insured.
Okay, I just wasn't
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
I sat on
because
the
they
top.
are high, right, so if somebody rolls off the back one.
My original thought was, when I heard bleachers, was the great big ones that went way high, but these are nice and. Okay, excellent.
They're
We'll,
sturdy too, like, I
yeah.
sat on the top of them and I was trying to flip it over.
so what we'll try first
Well, no, it's
is,
just-
we'll try to move
To
them
see, yeah.
over for the movie night. We'll see how hard they are to move the first time, and then we can determine if we're gonna plant them, build something to move them for each event, how we're gonna do it. Perfect.
I remember we used to move those, the tents. And we always had to move them from the rink on Canada Day to the museum, and we cut off the road and things like that, so. And I mean, it worked. The only thing was it was 7 o'clock in the morning, but then you just got the road crew. And then whoever else could volunteer, and it didn't take much.
Yeah.
I'm sure John Paul would be glad to do it again. And I would.
Yeah, perfect. We'll see if we can get those in place.
That'd be awesome. Okay, last thing on the agenda is senior programming. So there's been a lot of requests, seniors in the area where they don't have any place to walk, they don't have anything to do, and there's nothing going on for them. So they're asking if we, as a rec committee, could take a look at putting something together for them. Walking, whether it be walking somewhere or something like that. And if we can put something together and organize it, it might help.
Winter time would be card games,
Card games, something, anything.
Yeah.
cribbage, either one.
Yeah, I mean, they were talking activity wise, and I think the pickleball's a big part of it, and it came up. But anything that goes on, what did come to our attention is it came to us from East Perry Sound Community Support Services. So they're looking for a place, and they have a stay on your feet. It's a stay on your feet falls and prevention classes. And it's geared towards seniors 65 or older. I'd have to ask the question to see, can you do 55 or older, or how tight is that 65? But it's no charge to the seniors, and it's no charge to us. They just need a place to do it. They need a building.
So what, sorry,
Go ahead.
What are they
I'll send
looking
this
to
around.
do?
I'll send it around. So again, it's like just so I'll read it. It says, stay on your feet falls prevention classes are designed to help build balance, strength, and flexibility among older adults who live independently in our communities. These classes must be offered free of charge to the participants and are open to those 65 or older. So they run it currently in 9 different municipalities. They just don't have anything in our area, right? So Callender, Powassan, Port Lauren, Restoule, South River, Sunridge, Berks Falls, Kearney. We were thinking about Commanda, because they have volunteers that just need someplace to go. Like they have the
It's kind of like a yoga where they
Yeah.
come, they sit and they're, okay, sorry, I wasn't following what it was.
Qualified
Okay.
instructors. The instructors are paid, they pay them, we don't pay them, and they're taught, and it's held weekly. So weekly every week.
the health unit has the insurance. I believe it's on there.
Yep,
It's
So
done through community care.
That's
really,
awesome.
really what they're looking for is they need a free venue.
A place to
So,
hold the event. right,
Nipissing
for sure.
Community Center, Commanda Community Center.
so that's, I mean, if we're willing to give them the space, they're willing to put it together.
No,
And they will give it, like if they can't get any kind of participation, they might end up canceling the class.
Who runs it?
But if we're talking about it enough, I think they'll get the participation, and they're not just gonna say 3 weeks and we're not doing it
Correct.
anymore.
They give
That's
it a
not
fair
what's gonna-
shot.
They give it a fair shot. They give it a couple of months to try and build.
what happened to the lady that used to have she asked for a TV all the time, I can't remember what her name was. And she was doing
Sure.
seniors stuff here. And then COVID came and then it stopped. Nobody
Not
ever
sure.
got reached back out to her and see if she wanted to do it again.
I believe that was a rental, and that was like a fee thing.
Yeah.
That's totally, that was a rental. They rented the community
Yeah.
center for that event.
This would you can get for free.
How many time wise? Like how many days a month?
We can do it once a month or once.
Yeah, so on there, it says they're looking for weekly, so they
Yeah,
want to
they
run a
do it
weekly
weekly.
class.
I've attended those, they're really good, and that's what I was hoping we would do is start looking at programs like this. The chair yoga one is available, and I thought the health unit would probably help with it. So usually they're like once a week for 6 or 8 weeks. And I know one that I attended, I didn't know we had one here, calendar, they had to break it into 2, there were so many people there. So, and they're great, they're sociable, they're easy, they're. for
So
old
I
people.
reached out to one of the local municipalities and all they asked was they bring clean indoor shoes.
Yep.
And they said there's not even a mess when they're done.
No.
So they don't even have to clean the hall, nothing. So.
Seems like a great idea, for sure.
Only downfall is just
There
constant.
used to be one here.
But we've
Marion
been
Beauregard,
setting it
I
up
think,
here,
thought it was
so they have all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
years
Sorry,
ago.
say that again?
Years ago, Marion Beauregard, I think, was the woman, but it wasn't advertised very well. We didn't all hear about it. So that's when I went into calendar, and it's unfortunate because the one here sort of fell apart.
So let's see if we can, I mean, and it's word of mouth, right? And we have a great crew, and if we talk this up enough, we can get
We can
something
talk
going
it up.
for.
One midday, like during the week, is that
I
what they,
don't know. So,
whenever they want, I guess, kind of open to.
and again, we'd have to reach out to the community, like the person that's in charge of it, and they would figure it out.
So pretty much
But I
all they need is somebody to open the building, let them in, lock the building back up when they're done,
They
right?
do all the, like,
They do
reading that, they do all the advertising and everything. We would assist with the advertising, of course, because we have a good social media platform as well. But yeah, we just have to give them the building. If we ask for clean shoes, there won't be a mess. So,
Yeah. If we're game, we'll reach out to them and see what we can set up. If we're game as a group, let's see what we can set up.
Yep, they keep getting funding for it through community care, which is under East Home's umbrella. So
Perfect. So and it's definitely, they definitely said they have somebody out in Commanda. They want to do a program out in Commanda. So,
if you could find out if Commander would be interested in this, we can
Absolutely.
kind of talk.
Well, actually, we'd be.
Just want to print this off, so we can have it.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I'll do is we'll contact them and represent both
Yeah.
and get the ball rolling and see if we can get something on the docket.
so there's one other here that they sent in to us, and I'll send it around again, and this is what's currently happening around, and that talks about the lunches and the, everything else. So that's currently what's going on. I just think it's a great opportunity to,
So what I think would be a great thing too is that maybe we throw this on our social media too. If everybody has thoughts on that.
because this did come up at the town hall. It was brought up by some community members at the town hall asking.
And I do know of a couple residents taking advantage of the food program now.
yeah,
So we have a few more in the township using the food program. So they're getting nice hot meals that you just microwave, but it's healthier, and so there's a lot more of that.
You'll see the paper coming around. It's fantastic. And it's for seniors. And they're, you can't beat the price for seniors. Can't. beat
they
the
still
price
have
on it.
Meals on Wheels in some areas, but this is replacing Meals on Wheels. And they've moved the freezers. I know they're in Powassan again.
They're all over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sunridge shut down and they moved 2 of them up here, so.
Perfect. So are we okay to go ahead and reach out to them and say, let's try and set
Yep,
something up?
doesn't cost anything to reach out. Leslie will come back to us and our next meeting is August.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, next on the agenda is motion to replace the heritage sign.
Okay, so the heritage sign, we are looking at roughly $1,072. That will be the sign, the new 6x6 posts, the cement to form them. Now we'll replace that sign in Heritage Park. So we'll take the whole posts and everything out, put new posts in, level them out, and put a new 4x8 sign up.
We'll have letters to advertise events or
No.
just a straight?
Just a straight sign. The problem we had with the letters over there, you had to get a ladder every time you wanted to change them and.
Also, now's the time if you're build it so you don't.
And then we're also talking about the information boards at the landfills and at the park. To start, where we can go and pin up information and stuff, so anybody, any department could use it. So we could advertise at the museum level, the council level, any of that,
Where would you put those? By the recycle?
by the recycle probably. And then we could always venture, you don't wanna get too far, but we could venture off later on to maybe the park or the beaches or something. So we just have to keep in mind that we have to update them and keep them current, but.
Those information boards would be a great place to make sure like newsletters are there, all the stuff, like all the work she does on this, let's get it out there. And people can't say, I didn't see that, or I didn't know, because there's a place where they can go, more than one place they can go.
Yeah, and actually Kristen and John Paul set an information board up at the township office now too. So right when you walk in, there's a great big board with all the local events and everything on it now. And so we'll take that same concept and just put it into a wooden box with glass on it. And we just happen to have quite a bit of spare plexiglass kicking around too. So
So we still have to get the pricing on the information boards, though,
correct,
right?
yeah.
So this motion is just to replace that heritage sign.
Yeah, the information boards won't be too bad because we already have most of the materials.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. And seconded, Terry? Awesome. All in favor? Awesome. Good. It's gonna look so great. Next is a community update.
Well, as you may have heard, we have a yard sale coming up on September 24th. And the same day, going to be a long day, we're going to have our fall dance.
Oh, awesome.
So good time should be had by all.
Perfect.
Juan, can you get me some info on the dance, like times and whatnot?
I'll get it to you.
Thank you.
We incorporated in the flyer.
Mhm.
What's your due date on that? What's your closing date?
I don't know, the sooner I have it, the sooner I advertise it, so, I mean, whatever works for you, you know,
I'll get it to you soon.
yeah, I mean, ideally, before maybe next meeting, if we can.
No problem.
What we're looking to do is, the first week of school, we like to get the next round of, the first sheet there that Kristen did out.
So that one that was in the newsletter from tax bill, I literally took that out and just,
I think that's what you have on your file right there, Chris.
no, it was a different one. It was one with the dance
Yes,
and-
it was all little pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I put that right on the fridge. 'cause
Yeah.
it was
Oh, perfect.
easiest to notice it.
Kristen, it's been making a lot of flyers for rec and
I don't think I have.
other departments, and she's doing quite a few for myself as well, so.
That's coming due.
Perfect, okay.
Perfect.
A little time.
All right. So I guess we're gonna move to adjourn the meeting at 7:34. Mayor Piper and
Gotta be quick on.
and Lauren. Time to go home. All in favor? Perfect. And the next meeting is